All right. I want to talk about shoulders because a lot of people are having shoulder issues, and or maybe a lot of shoulder issues are getting exacerbated. So I'm just going to go over some stuff for you guys. First thing is if you are rushing on movements and getting sloppy as you get tired, you're trying to get through it quicker. This is when technique falls apart and we tend to get into a compromised position. And as I mentioned earlier, you do that a lot and you'll start getting pain. So just make sure we are in a set position. What does that mean? Why don't we go over that first? Don't worry, we'll get into some nitty gritty stuff to kind of open you guys up as well. First things first. So much better. First things first. Boom, right here. That's what we want. We don't want this. Right? Just think about bringing your arm, right? Pressing like this, right? We don't want this either. Ready? We're not showing our tits off, right? Oh, everybody, look at my boobs. No. We're set. Shoulders in a neutral position. Shoulder is externally rotated, and a good squeeze in your lat. Boom. The lat flares. You can see it. Watch. Boom. Everything. Right? That's what we want when we're doing a lot of these movements. Pressing overhead. Right? There it is. There's that position. Chest pressing. Even chest press. Just pretend I'm laying on the floor. Look, I'm set. My shoulders don't reach forward. I don't reach forward. So when I reach forward, oh, my shoulders come up and forward. Boom, into that position. That doesn't look good, right? But my chest presses like this. No, we want set position. What about burpees? If I come to the ground and I flop, right? Boom, there it is again. Or sometimes you get the one set, one flop, and you're kind of like this, right? Even when we come down for a push-up, boom, right? In a push-up, everything's going to retract as well. When we push up, we don't reach forward. We stay set. We stay set, engaged. Squeeze, stay set, right? Okay, we got the boring stuff out of the way, technique stuff. Let's try and open you up a little bit. I've got, some good torture devices. No, some good effective tools. I've got a lacrosse ball. I've got a PVC pipe. So the first thing we're going to do is the boobies. We're going to get into the pecs, and we'll have to, well, I'm going to just try and do both at the same time. So we want to get into up top in here. We want to get into the side here. A lot of nastiness in here. So usually that's where a lot of issues come in. You just take your ball and you sandwich. Oh, immediately. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, this is more down on the side, the second spot I showed. And a lot of times when you attack this area, you're going to get a release down your arm into your elbow. I don't know how to, into your elbow and wrist. See, there's my elbow and my wrist, right down my arm. Up top also feels really good. Sometimes you get a little release into the neck, but you're all going to feel that release in the chest. If you are tight in the front, when you're done, you're going to feel like this. And you're almost going to feel like you can breathe better because you're not so scrunched up. You're not pulled forward. This is a good one to start with. The second one is getting into the shoulder itself. You got this little shoulder muscle here. It's your delt right here. It's a little guy, right? All our shoulders are kind of little muscles are little guys. And same thing, you just get on him and you can move your arm around, rotate your arm a little bit to find, I found a good spot. Yeah, I need to work on this. Ooh, right? All I'm doing is putting some body weight into it. Right? So we said get into your chest, get into your shoulder. Let's talk about the back of the shoulder. Back of the shoulder, let's hop on the floor here. So on the back of your shoulder, you've got another delt muscle. There's a little guy right here. Right, this thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the ball on it. Where is it? Okay, I've got it. 90 in the armpit, 90 in the elbow, and I'm going to rotate in the shoulder. One way, the other way. Oh, there's this. Ooh, there's some nastiness, right? And find a hot spot, just kind of deal with it, right? So that's big ones, shoulder, front, back of the shoulder, front of the shoulder, chest. The next is getting into the upper back. A lot of times the upper back is tight. It causes shoulder issues. How does this work? Well, let's just look at me. Right? We've already kind of said like a tight chest and shoulder, right? We get kind of pulled here. What about tight traps, right? Isn't that going to do that as well, right? Isn't that all kind of connected? All those muscles come in together, right? We can imagine that. You don't need to look it up on anatomy.com or whatever, but you can imagine everything's tight and tense, right? So if we've tacked down this, we need to open up the traps too. And to go along with that, what about our lat, right? That connects in too, right? We have all this shit connecting in. Usually if one thing's tight, it's all tight. So let's work on some upper back stuff. And you can use your ball again for this first one. You're gonna take your ball next to your shoulder blade, between your shoulder blade and your spine. And you're gonna start up high. And already, boom, there's a spot. And your arm straight, palm faces in. It's into my side, right? I want you guys to see that because everyone fucks it up. So I'm gonna back up, back way the fuck up. Here we go. Right? Palm faces in. Arms stay straight. Look, elbows locked. As you reach overhead, it gets worse and worse. But look, I'm not dumping my shoulder. I'm not rotating my shoulder. I'm not bending my elbow. Oh, I did it, Brendan. No, this does nothing. Arm needs to stay straight. Reach overhead. And then cross the opposite hip. That is 1 rep. You do like 20. If you want more, and I recommend it, bridge your hips into it, and yeah, you'll make that noise too. Woo, mama! What do you do when you get to 20 reps? Well, you let your belly hang out. No, you just move down lacrosse ball size on your upper back. 20 more reps, 20 more, right? Till you get to the bottom. When you get to the bottom, there is more to be done. You're at the bottom of your shoulder blade, which is about here. It's right here. I'm going to take this arm, and I'm going to put it underneath, and I'm going to hunt for tight spots. That wasn't hard. I'm a mess, guys. Whew. You're going to hunt for tight spots, kind of on that bottom corner of the shoulder blade. My God, that fucking blows. Yeah. Whoo, hoo, hoo. So that's what you do when you get to the bottom. When you're done with that, go to the other side, right? You got 2 arms. Make sure you do both. The last thing, we'll call it the second to last thing. I like to use the PVC pipe for, but you can continue to use the lacrosse ball if you like. Where's that wretched pipe? And what you're going to do, start in the armpit on your side, and there's a few spots. Actually, this spot here works a lot better with the ball. You're going to work your way down, and you're not going to roll up and down. Rather, there's the spot. You're going to run front to back. You see what I just did with my arm? That's the position we want to be in again. It's that set position, right? My shoulder is rotated. Palm is facing forward now. I'm not dumping my shoulder forward, right? The really bad spot is when you get to the bottom. Boom, right here. Ooh, oof, oof, oof. It's nasty. Again, roller PVC pipe or lacrosse ball. This is the last one. Nice global movement hits everything. We start high, we're going to reach overhead. What we don't want to do is let the rib cage flare up. So we don't want to do this. You see how I'm overextending? So how do I prevent that? Well, I can squeeze my butt and brace where we heard that before. I'm going to reach overhead. And as I work my way down, it's very easy to relax. I have all this pressure on my lower back. Remember to set. And if you just look at my arms, look at that nice set position again. That's important on everything. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Whole bunch of stuff to open up your upper body and hopefully relieve some pressure off of your shoulders or your elbows or wrists or upper back or neck. If you do all of that and you do it in 5 minutes, you did nothing. You should really be spending 5 minutes per side per movement. Now, that's if you're having some issues. If you're doing something and you're there for a minute or two and you're like, I can't find shit, move on to the next thing. It's probably not an issue for you. You'll know when it's an issue. And if it's an issue, 5 minutes per thing per side. Hope this helps.